Good afternoon. My name is Donna Fizel, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show, where truth matters. Thank you so much for watching every day, Monday through Friday, beginning at 1 p.m. Central, as I get to ride home with you in the afternoon. It's all about sending you the truth and doing a little research. I'm that geek there. I like to do research for you. And so we had one of our listeners who sent an email saying, how did all these old Christmas songs begin? I mean, what was the idea? What was the concept of the whole thing? And these are tried and true beautiful Christmas carols that we've been going on for centuries. So I found an article right here I think you're really going to enjoy. Before that, though, you can find us on television, Channel 182 Charter Communications, and then we're syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com and our own radio station, icradio.media, where you can listen to Christmas music 24/7. We begin that always on November the 1st. But thank you again so much for watching. So let's talk about Christmas carols, okay? And this is an article I found by Jeanette Williams, and she actually came out with this article on December the 23rd, 2019. And I love this one. I mean, she's done so much research. And she goes on to say, I love Christmas carols, and the radio starts playing secular Christmas music, Christmas songs before Thanksgiving, just to get us in that shopping mood. You know, always at the mall, you're going to hear that it's that time of the year, it's Christmas time. But she says she prefers religious Christmas carols just to get her into the spirit of the season. And I totally agree with that. After all, he who sings prays twice, right? So learning about the development of some of our Christmas carols can really deepen our appreciation, help us connect with the Christians who passed down their faith to us into songs. So Christmas hymns have been around as long as Christmas has been celebrated. In fact, I thought this was interesting. The earliest known Christmas hymn was written by Saint Hilary in the year 336 AD. This is just 23 years after Constantine legalized Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. It was called Jesus, Light of All Nations. Though there's no way of knowing the original medley, you can really find it by just Google this, Chamber Choir of George Watson's Choir, and you can listen to their rendition of this song again. That's Jesus, Light of All Nations. Now, until the Middle Ages, Christmas songs were almost exclusively hymns for religious services. So St. Francis helped to speed along the development of carols in his creation of the manger scene, which spurred religion all around the world. Originally, these carols were based on hymns sung by monks, and some have survived to this day. Okay, so here's one she talks about. It's O come, Emmanuel. I love that one. I love playing this one on the piano. It gives you a little bit of peace, just to hear that song. So it sounds like a chant kind of, and essentially it is. It's a paraphrase of the O antiphons, each one starting with the explanation, oh. You know how they do the oh, like that. And those are chanted as part of the hours of the Christmas as it approaches. So the lyrics of the carol go back to the 12th century or possibly even earlier, and the melody at least as far back as the 15th century. Although the song is sung in many languages all over the world and the same ancient melody is used everywhere, the tune was first put to the lyrics when it was translated into English. So it's specifically the English version has spread throughout the world, so they keep that general theme. This is beautiful, isn't it, to know these things? Then this one, Oh Come All You Faithful. Everyone knows this one. I remember watching the Brady Bunch when I was a kid. And so Carol, the mom, actually wound up with, couldn't speak. I mean, she just totally lost her voice. And so the little girl, can't think of what her name was, but she was praying that her mom would be able to sing in the Christmas choir. and she sang this one, "O Come All You Faithful." So "O Come All You Faithful" is another ancient carol. So probably originally was composed by monks in the Middle Ages, that we can thank an exiled English Catholic for the beloved English version of it. It was illegal to practice the Catholic faith in England from 1588 to 1829. So John Wade, having escaped to France, had a successful career as a musical copyist known for his beautiful music. So in 1751 he penned "O Come All Ye Faithful," the first known version of the carol in English. Now, did he actually write it? She goes on to say, we don't know for sure, but he gets the credit anyway. Of course, he was not the earliest English Christmas carol. The earliest Christmas carols that we know of were written by John Audeley. He was from Australia, and he was a monk, affectionately known as Blind John. So on his deathbed in 1426, he put his things in order, pulling together a collection of his writings that included his own Christmas carols. Okay, here's another great one. "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen." Although none of Blind John's carols are sung today, "God Rest You Merry Gentlemen" goes back almost to his time. Now, this familiar tune is mentioned in the Charles Dickens classic, A Christmas Carol. So the singing of which annoyed the old grump that Scrooge seized the ruler with such energy of action that the singer fled in terror. I love this one right here too. I just love them all, but What Child Is This? What Child Is This was born out of a near-death experience. And this is in 1865 when William Chatterton Dix, he was a manager at an insurance company, became bedridden and depressed after a severe life-threatening illness. So his experience just re-energized his faith, and he authored several hymns, including this one, What Child Is This? So when it was finally published in 1871, it was set to the tune of Greensleeves. That was a romantic ballad from the 16th century about a man serenading his rather aloof lady love. Then we have Silent Night. Okay, Silent Night was penned in 1818 by a young Australian priest who asked the church organist to write a melody to be played on the guitar. So why would an organist who barely knew how to play guitar use that instrument for Christmas Mass? It would seem the church organ was out of commission. Whether it was damaged by flooding or hungry church mice is unknown, but the result is a simple, touching song that has become one of the most frequently recorded Christmas carols. We have the American priest to thank for translating it into English in 1859. Hark the Herald Angels Sing. So Phil and I've been on this thing about watching Christmas movies, and I watch them all except for the horror ones. I think that's out of taste. But anyway, we're watching one where an angel actually comes in. He visits this person, and there were some odd things about him. Odd, in other words, that the human mind couldn't understand. And he knew things about this family that he came to visit on Christmas Day, and he actually wound up being the Herald Angel. So, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. The cheery tune of Hark the Herald Angels Sing was not the author's idea. Charles Wesley was the founder of the Methodist Church, and he requested a slow, somber melody as he wrote the song in 1739. But apparently it wasn't terribly popular that way. So, in 1840, a new collection of carols featured a melody adapted from a cantata by Felix Mestrange, and the cantata was interestingly originally written to commemorate the 400th anniversary of the invention of the printing press, a rather unlikely source for a Christmas carol. That was a little odd, wasn't it? Okay, you can't have a Christmas cantata without "O Holy Night." That's in all of them. So this hauntingly beautiful Old Holy Night was an instant hit, but it was banned by the French church soon thereafter. So in 1847, a French parish priest asked a local poet to write a Christmas carol. Even though the poet's church practiced was a bit shaky there. The poet wrote the beautiful lyrics and asked a composer friend to create the music. Now, the magnificent carol quickly spread throughout France. However, the local church soon discovered that the author was a socialist. Oh, and the composer Jewish, and banned the song for a time, but the people continued to sing it. And in 1871, on Christmas Eve, during the Franco-Prussian War, a French soldier ran out of his trench, unarmed, and began to sing this carol. Silence fell across the battlefield, and when he was finished, a German soldier came out and sang a favorite German carol. A Christmas ceasefire followed. Yeah, Christmas can make all kinds of things happen. How about Away in a Manger? Every little child, it's probably one of the first Christmas songs you've learned to sing as a child. So the American tune finally hits the list with Away in a Manger, written around 1885, but the original promoters claimed it was written by Martin Luther, a German founder of Lutheranism in the 1500s. Though popular among Pennsylvania Germans, it was known in Germany until years later. Didn't find that out until years later. The song may have been connected with Martin Luther simply because the author of a collection of Christmas songs wanted to make it sound more impressive. So basically, it was a marketing gimmick. The Little Drummer Boy. I love this one. Remember the commercial used to come on all the time, and it had the camels on it, and they sang the Little Drummer Boy, and I think it was I know it was the raisins, right? It was the raisin commercial, with the camels, and so they actually made a cartoon out of it, or kind of a claymation kind of a cartoon out of it, and I loved it when they did that. So the Little Drummer Boy is another American original, or is it? So it was written by school teacher Catherine Davis in 1940. Miss Davis noted on her manuscript that the Chet's Carol freely transcribed by KKD, but did not specify the carol. Now, the story is similar to a 12th century legend. The juggler of Notre Dame. In the story, the old poor juggler had no gift for the cross child on Christmas. So when he went to church on Christmas night and in front of the statue of Our Liberty Lady holding a somber-looking child, he juggled the best he ever juggled. And when he was finished, Jesus was smiling. Okay, how about this one? Then we'll go into a commercial break. The 12 Days of Christmas. No list of historical Christmas carols should be without this controversial, the 12 Days of Christmas. The Catholics claim it, Protestants claim it, and non-Christians say we're both wrong. So as the story goes, back when practicing the Catholic faith in England, could put down your gallows, parents secretly used this Christmas carol to teach the children Catholic. Then the two turtle doves represented the Old and New Testament. 3 French hens were the 3 theological virtues of the Trinity. 3 French hens, and so on. So, of course, since non-Catholic Christians have many of the same beliefs, many Christians claimed that it was a way to teach Christian children the faith, not specifically Catholic children during the time of persecution. Now, the problem non-Christians have with this legend is twofold: that the symbols have absolutely nothing to do with what they supposedly signify, which is a former homeschooler. I can tell you, this is the author speaking here, I can tell you it makes a rather poor mimic. Second, there was another similar song at the time called A New Dial that did, in fact, apply those meanings to each of the 12 days of Christmas between the Christians and the non-Christians. So I'll just leave it up to you to decide what you think of it, is what the author says right here. Let's go into a quick commercial break, and when we return, we'll be right back. Queen City Used Car Sales has been serving drivers in the Northeast Alabama area for years with a quality selection of late model used cars, SUVs, and pickup trucks. On top of our extensive selection and competitive prices, we offer professional auto financing services for used car buyers of all credit levels. Whether you've just begun your search or you're ready to secure your next vehicle, at Twin City Used Car Sales, you will drive away with the vehicle of your dreams. The sales and finance staff at Twin City Used Car Sales looks forward to serving you, and you can apply for financing online before your visit to our used dealership in Gadsden, Alabama. Check us out on the web at twincityusedcars.com or go by our location at 901 First Avenue, Gadsden, Alabama. We sincerely look forward to serving you. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer
yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. Okay, so we're back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of Donna's Edge Talk Show where Truth Matters. We've been talking about the origins of Christmas songs. Where did they come from? And boy, I learned a lot of stuff here. Well, we have this also. The Prince of Peace, Jesus Christ, is the source of peace that we're all seeking. Connection with God is truly the only place that we can find peace. So I found another article, and this is tips for finding peace at Christmas. We could all use a little peace right now. The world's in an uproar right now, turmoil. Country is divided. No other way you can look at it, but we can all unite by finding things in common, right? We can. Okay, so tips to find peace at Christmas, and one of those is to breathe. Okay, so this is pretty basic, but don't forget to breathe. So pay attention to your breathing. Is it rapid? Is it shallow? That means you're stressed. So calm yourself by taking some relaxing breaths in and out slowly. So a good friend of mine, Deja Lee, tells me, because I have asthma, and so there was a time I would have to take frequent breaks from the show because I would begin coughing and I just couldn't stop. She said, "You're not breathing the right way." And I said, "Just breathe. I mean, what's the big deal to breathing?" And she said, "There is a technique to breathing, and you need deep breaths. And when you'll start doing that and make a habit of it, first of all, less stress for you. You won't have to worry so much. Am I going to start coughing halfway through the show?" And it definitely works. So breathing technique does a lot. So you want to breathe through your nose. Hold it a few seconds, then out. It does a lot for you. Now, let me give you a tip right here. Okay, so one of my friends said, "I tried that and I passed out." And I said, "You passed out? How'd you pass out?" She said, "Well, I was sitting down. I got up too fast." And then she passed out. So be really careful, okay? Either be sitting or standing. Okay, either one of the two. Okay, just go outside. I do that. I love to be outside. You can tell by looking at my house on the inside, I'd much rather be out than in. Now, wherever you live, going outside, it brings fresh air to the lungs and a fresh view to your eyes. It also changes your mood. It wakes you up and opens your eyes to beauty all around you. So step outside, even if it's just a few freezing minutes outside, and you'll find some peace. Absolutely. Download this app that I have, and you'll learn about trees and plants and stuff like that. So even if you just go outside and you just download this app, and let me find it for you really quick. Let's see. I can never remember the name of it. I've got it pinned on, oh, here we go. It's called Picture This. And it'll give you a reason to go outside. So if you go outside, and let's say you live in a wooded area, or you just walk around the neighborhood, you're in the park, whatever, it gives you something else to do just in case you're bored with walking. So take the app with you, and you'll find all kinds of magical things are going to happen for you as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get the timer back up here so I can make sure I don't go over. Savor little things. That's a good one. So what small things can bring you peace and joy? A cup of coffee, a cup of tea that I keep with me all the time. And I love my hot tea in the wintertime, and I love my cold tea in the summertime. So just little things can bring you peace. A cup of coffee near the tree in the morning, a taste of a special treat, the smell of a candle. I love candles. Savor some small pleasure. Okay, some of you guys have told me that you have asthma too, and you can't burn candles. If you will, and I make these candles, but if you'll burn a candle that is made with beeswax or soy, you'll be able to breathe in a candle. The paraffins, they're not made with natural products, but if you're looking for a candle with natural products, choose that. Even lard candles are good. Yeah, I know some places around the area sell lard, and you can actually make candles out of those as well. Now put a little beeswax in it because that'll kind of harden it a bit. So try that. Okay, here's one. How important is how much? Okay, so how is more important than how much. Makes sense. So pay attention to your moods and the way they threaten to rob you of joy as you go about the busy things on your list. There are some things that you could do less of, maybe, could you? And then maybe some things you could enjoy more. Make that change. Okay, how about this? Make amends with someone. That really does help. Get ready for the new year by forgiving someone or letting go of bitterness that you might be holding on to, maybe from the past year. Give yourself the gift of peace and freedom by letting go and giving yourself permission to start one. And that's exactly what Phil and I are doing. So I have a sister, a little hard to get along with. And so what we've decided to do Can't make amends. I've tried and just nothing works. So we decided just to move. And so that's why we're moving back into the Carolinas so we can get some more peace of mind. We lived in the Carolinas for about 9 years, happiest times of our lives. We're going to take Mother with us. And so we're going to start over with a new life. Still have the show, still all that stuff, good stuff going, but it'll be somewhere else. So that's what you have to do. If they won't make amends, then you just have to let it go. Okay, number 6, pray. We are made for connection with God, and so we will have no peace without Him. Find a way to add to your prayer life despite the busyness of this time of the year. And we're celebrating Jesus after all, remember? So let's make room for connection and conversation with Him in your heart. And, you know, like me, I don't have the most beautiful prayers on earth. A lot of people do, but I just don't. I just talk to Jesus. I just talk to Him, you know, and I find that that really does help me out too. Number 7, spend time with people you love. That's another reason we're moving. We'll be closer to my son and my daughter-in-law, and so we're excited about that. It might mean turning down some invitations, especially if it's that family member you just can't get along with. But make time for those closest to you. Do something fun, like enjoy a meal, make a craft, or watch a movie. Also, have date nights with that spouse of yours. Yeah, have some date night. You know, just do something fun with them. Go to a movie or just have your own little cozy area. What Phil and I have been doing almost every night since the beginning of Christmas season, right at Thanksgiving. So we've been doing a marathon of old movies, like old Christmas movies. And that'll give you some peace of mind too. Now, like I mentioned a little bit earlier in the show, I really don't like the slasher movies that have a Christmas theme. That's not my thing. My whole thing about Christmas is it's a joyous time. So be careful with those, because I think it's probably the enemy trying to get you into his realm. So try not those. But I like the old Hallmark movies, and some of those you got to be careful with as well. But the old classics like Holiday Inn, White Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life, all of those have a good story to them. If you're feeling just a little bit negative right now and you're feeling like, oh, the whole world is against me, you know, just different things like that, watch It's a Wonderful Life. It'll kind of help you get a perspective, because the whole theme of this movie is, what would life be without the main character in the movie? So again, he's taking the blame for an uncle losing money. So that's part of the theme of the movie. He's taking the blame because he doesn't want to put a bad light on his uncle. But the problem is he starts looking like the bad guy. And, you know, sometimes we do look like the bad guy when we're trying to save face and keep peace. But just think about it this way. The truth always comes out. And it does take years sometimes for it to happen. You be your classy self. Don't be in the charge of, if people ask you about this other person and why you're not getting along, all you got to do is just say, I love them. You don't have to say anything else. And let that other person be the one dipping dirt out on you. That's all you got to do. So I had a person in town wanted to know if this was my sister, and I said yes. And she knew she was, because we all went to school together. So I didn't take the bait. So what I said to her is, I love my sister. And that's how I left it. And you can do the same thing. As a matter of fact, it'll take a lot of stress off of you if you'll just respond that way. I know a lot of folks made enemies with each other during this past election season. And my response was always, I love you. I'm not going to argue with you. And people can have different opinions. And I know you think your opinion. I do too. I think my opinion's the only opinion. But you know, other folks have opinions too. So let's just stick with it that way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this section and about old Christmas carols and where they came from. I learned a lot while studying this. I really did. But thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a super awesome rest of the day today. You know, remember, you can find us on the radio at iacradio.media, where you're going to hear some of these Christmas carols. You can also find us on television, 182 Charter. You can also find us syndicated on Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And don't forget the podcast on thenewscasters.com. Continue sending emails, Donna at donnasedge.com. Thank you.